Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Letter. Last episode...
Love triangle!
Yeah, basically it was love triangle. And now we're dealing with Isabella, and...
So if you've been sticking around for the horror, I don't know when it's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to get scary again. Probably not for like another 10 episodes. But,
all right,
you know.
Back to somebody answering the door in her pajamas and Ash getting blushed
Weird.
in the face from weird. Okay, this is all weird.
It's all weird. That's where the true horror comes from.
The horror comes in.
It disappears the second she turns her attention back to me, but that moment has sent a worried twinge in my stomach. I've seen it on her plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time. I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud. If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Yep.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
Yeah, it's probably accurate.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't
Lordy.
flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
Like this is the oblivious and the oblivious. Like,
Yeah.
he's in love with her and she's just like, psh, whatever, I ain't got time for you. And then you got the Becca thing where she's in love with him and he's like, psh, don't got no time for you. This is ridiculous.
Yep. She follows it up with another pout. But her ruffled appearance, particularly how puffy her eyes are, I noticed just now, takes away from the intimidating effect she's trying to show. Really, right now, she looks more like an angry puppy. I might have laughed had it not given me another nagging sense that something is definitely wrong with her. What, has she been crying earlier? That is worrying. She rarely does that. The only time it happened, the one time I've ever seen her genuinely tear up over something, I think it was after Devlin Court, the night at the bridge. I want to ask. She seems determined to keep it to herself,
Belle,
though.
did something...
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry. I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help. You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't like what she's implying. It's true LPD's having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information, and I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
There it is again.
You could go rescue Marianne.
Yeah, it's true. She would probably appreciate that right about now, because I'm pretty sure she's dead.
I don't think she's dead.
Or, like, is starving to death. The slight shift in her eyes, the mild crease forming between her eyebrows, and the mild slump in her shoulders while she crosses her arms tightly around herself. Like she's shielding herself from whatever painful thing there is out there. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her tag along. First and foremost, she's a civilian. Second, I have no concrete plan of action yet. I'm going into this blind. No matter how you look at it, it's simply better for her to just wait so she won't get dragged into what might be another one of my failures. Her assumptions might be a dead end for all we know. But seeing that expression on her, hearing her speak those words out loud in a desperate, almost pleading tone, I can't bring myself to say no. So I give in because right there, I see myself in her. The person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting
All
him.
right. 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
Yeah.
I hate you so much. I'm taking back what I said last week. You haven't changed at all.
4 minutes.
4 minutes and 30 seconds. 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful. I hope you never get a girlfriend.
She slams the door right after. Although my chuckles, the mirth, and the lightness in it linger. With her, those have always come easy somehow, even as its echoes fade and only the ghost of a smile
It's
remains.
not like I'm looking for anyone else.
Oh, poor Becca.
Oh
Are you gonna
no.
let her down?
I want to tell her. It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to, until I fix myself, until I found myself underneath all that guilt and those lies I've been telling all these years. Because no matter how heavy the weight of these feelings are, I'm not yet worthy of them, of her. Until then, little words and gestures are the only things I can offer. Minor stuff such as digging deeper into this thing with BRC in order to ease her worries. I'm not even sure if this will give us anything. Unlike with the firm case, which I already have proper leads on, I'm just going by her word on this.
Ooh, I'm wondering if your Becca was higher, if you'd be more into her.
I'm kind of wondering about that. If it plays out differently depending on which one you're higher with.
I'm okay with the Isabella one though.
Yeah, I kind of like
fit
them
better. Becca's too much of a hothead.
Yeah, I think I would go Isabella.
Yeah, except I feel for the whole "I've loved you my entire life"
Like 20 years.
friendship thing. That kind of sucks. But you know what? The flip side is you should have said something.
Yep. 20 years, man.
20 years.
Speaking of the Luxborn firm case, I still have to inform the professor. The apprehension's there for sure. I made a lot of promises to that man, and I would have preferred to tell him in person, not over the phone. But it's better for him to hear it from me rather than from a stranger. The railings offer steady support while I wait for him to answer. I'd like to think I can do this without losing my nerve. My grip on the bars tightens, though, once the call connects.
Not running today, Professor?
He's usually at the park on late Saturday mornings, as long as it isn't raining cats and dogs. Keeps him young and healthy, he says, and he's certainly fit for a man his age with a sedentary job.
Oh, no, not today.
He's definitely at the usual place, though. Cheers and laughter, likely from children and families, filter through the receiver. I tend to avoid the park precisely because of this. No use reminding myself of the could-haves when it's already over. Mom's doing well with her career. Dad's also fine the last time I visited. Although neither remarried, they're both content with their lives as it is. I'm probably the only one still caught up with it, hence my aversion. But all in all, it's still a pleasant sight to see if you're the kind who takes joy in such sights like Professor Clarke does.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Guy certainly seems happy right now in any case. I almost don't want to break the news to him. But it's better to get this off quick as long as he doesn't shoot the messenger. He's not the type. However, long-held resentment can change a person, even someone as mild-mannered as the professor. Was it his wife?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I was hoping to talk to you about the case.
Suppose I'm just the downer today. As soon as I say those words, he pauses and the lightness in his voice is gone in an instant. Every time we've talked about this in the past, he does that. He's probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps it's a good thing that I'm delivering the news through the phone. Who knows what he'll see in my face and my mannerisms. The art of keen observation, I learned it from the man. He probably already has an idea what this might be about from my manner of speaking alone.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
Oh, yes.
For a second I hesitate, looking at the dirt beneath my shoes. But I manage eventually. After a long, ragged draw of breath, I pick up where I've left off, still fumbling with my words.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton.
He only assumes that tone when there's a reprimand at its heels.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was taken off the Luxborn firm case.
I expect anger, frustration, maybe even disappointment. But all he gives me is a small sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz. Aunt Liz, she insisted I call her, his late wife. A sweet-tempered woman by so many standards. They were never blessed with kids and contented herself with simply managing their bakery. But she's the closest I had to a mom in the few years I had known her, the professor too. In the absence of my own parents in my life, the two filled the ache their divorce left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up on her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
How many years has it been since? 9? 10? I can still remember it vividly. Two men, primly dressed, briefcases in hand, and a stern look on each of their faces. They were already frequent visitors to the bakery for a few months, something about the lot being a prime property in downtown Luxborn. I think they were hoping to settle a deal with them, but neither of the couple gave in to their demands. Why should they? That quaint little shop was a dream for them. Aunt Liz sent me home early that night after a fruitless wait for the professor. The next morning, news of the bakery raised to the ground had spread across the whole city, one casualty. A few weeks later, the property was sold to Wright Enterprise. A fucking hotel now stands in its place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright, was briefly at the center of it, but with the lack of any evidence, the case ultimately went cold. The professor hides it well. However, I can tell that he hates that man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every tragedy that happens in this city. He's never blamed me, though, when I'm equally responsible. I knew something's off the moment those men stopped inside the shop. I could have saved her that night. I could have prevented anything from happening to her, called for help or whatever, and I didn't. So it continues to eat at me until today. The guilt. The Luxburn firm case would have been our chance at reopening that cold case if we could prove Luke right of his crimes. Instead, we're back to square one. Yet all he has for me are words of comfort. To think he can still be this concerned about me after my carelessness, after I've broken another promise a second time. People never cease to amaze
You
me.
might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him. But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again.
Suddenly he stops. I imagine a thoughtful look flashing in his eyes as he thumbs the wedding band on his ring finger before he continues. Another habit. He's never removed it since that day. He's never thought once to remarry, even when he managed to continue with his life and return to some semblance of normalcy. It's his way of honoring her, I suppose, when he couldn't bring to justice the man responsible for his loss. Some people are just hard to forget.
It's not like another death. Yours or even his will bring back my wife.
Yeah.
Silence falls between us afterwards.
Takes a smart man to realize that.
I don't quite know what to say after that, really. Should I apologize? Show some sympathy? Going into this, I should have thought of something other than just breaking the news to him. As it is, it seems the only thing we can do is feel sorry for each other's misfortunes.
I apologize, too, for putting you up to this.
In another occasion, under different circumstances, I might have accepted that, but
You didn't have to, but you've already done more than any officer who has investigated this. So don't worry about this, old man. I know your department's people all have their hands full recently, too. What with the upsetting news we've been getting as of late. Deaths almost every day. I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems too big even for someone like him. But if this is that man's doing...
Professor, please.
maybe if things around me hadn't started going beyond my control, the letter, the mansion, the supposed curse behind those, I'd still be quick to blame it all on the bastard too. But as much as I want to keep holding him responsible for it, to add another to his list of sins, it might not be the case. Agreeing will only cut deeper wound on the professor. I don't want him to keep clinging to this resentment for much longer. He has already gone through so many years
Luke
of it.
seems like the easy target in all of this.
Yeah, which kind of
Like-
like makes me think that he's not actually like the cause.
Johannes.
Oh,
In the background, the cool butler.
not Johannes.
Teasing.
I would be so sad if that's like the twist to all this.
I know. I wonder. Here's
I'm
the
out.
thing, though, too.
Flip table.
Everyone says Hana's the one that controls the business. Like she's the smart one.
Could it have been her?
Could have been her.
I don't think so, because this sounds like it was. Well, no, it was 9
No.
years ago, so it was before Hana.
They could have been dating.
They could. I guess they could have been dating. That
Anyways,
could be.
speculations.
This kind of anger, it's the sort that blinds people. Despite his reassurances, the bitterness still seeps into every syllable he utters. It's one thing for me to act like this. It's painful to watch someone I've considered a second father to go down this path.
Please don't apologize. It's really all right. I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but
I
if
don't
not,
think it's gonna happen.
Nope.
if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few
Nope.
tidbits every once in a while.
By the way, the inspector, whatever his name is his wife's blinking, supposedly, Luke. So
Wait, hold on. But if that were true, then he would want to take Luke down. So that could actually work in our favor if that's true. I'm starting to think that claim is not at all true.
I personally think he doesn't want to do it because he's in love with Hana. He doesn't want her involved in any of this shit.
Not maybe.
But I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you.
Promises again. A bad habit at this point. I wish I could do more for him. All this time I've prided myself over being the one to always know. Because suddenly, aside from Wright and the murders plaguing the city, I have ghosts and curses to worry about. Things that are completely out of my depth. Professor Clarke's right in some way. Things would be much easier if we just blamed Luke Wright for all of this.
Blame Luke Wright
Yeah.
for every single tragedy that happens.
That's gonna be our Let's Play strategy going forward. If
Timmy
something
fell
goes
down the
wrong,
well, Luke Wright.
yeah.
I lost $10,000 on a bet, Luke Wright. Damn, Luke.
Luke fucking Wright. At least finding evidence would be a breeze, and I'd be all too happy to put him in a place he belongs. Although if he was in any way also complicit to what's happening, legalities have my hands tied. But maybe that's my fault. I might have missed the ticket to close the case once and for all last night, if only I had done a better job during the party. But then, the commotion.
Dun, dun,
There was
dun.
Hannah Wright and Rebecca distracting me from my purpose too. I'd include that gate crasher as well, even though it's only for a moment. So many things have gone wrong last night that...
This isn't a prank! I saw something! See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
We've only replayed this a few times.
Alright. Last night at the party, I just realized the look on Hannah's face.
Uh-huh. She looks
I forgot, because she could see it too.
Yep.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That
Why
woman.
don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Shit. Wait, the call reset.
No!
Now I don't know how long we've been on the phone.
Damn it.
If that was what Isabella had been warning us about, if it was the same thing Rebecca talked about last night, or what Zack told me about a few days prior, how many of those instances have I dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effect of fatigue or lack of sleep? Didn't I guess that at one point? That he was like pretending, he would be the best at like rationalizing it away.
Oh, yeah.
Even last night, a hallucinogen lacing the food is the first thing I considered, purely because that's what my training dictates. It's the mindset I've grown used to. It's the setting the gears in my head automatically takes in a situation like that. Of course, I'm not discounting all that yet until I have enough information, something to form a conclusion from, proof in whatever form it may come. But thinking straight is impossible when all of a sudden all your beliefs are being upturned in the most violent way possible at that. Jesus, I need a sounding board. I need to talk to someone, and Zack's the best person for that.
I have to go, Professor.
Oh, no problem. But what are you...
I don't have time to stop and listen to what the professor has to say as I cut the call short. In the same second, Isabella emerges from the apartment, fully dressed and ready for the day. As usual, she greets me with a smile, but it falls just as fast as once she catches a glimpse of my face. Shame, that would have been the first comforting thing I see today. It annoys me that I'm particularly responsible for the worried one replacing it. I must look close to a picture of someone choking or dying because there's nothing but concern in the first word she speaks.
Ash, are you... Do you need to go to the bathroom?
What?
Yeah, no, I don't, okay? But we should hurry. Come on,
Just
don't forget to lock your door.
Constipated? Or
That's what I was
or is he,
wondering.
like dancing like a dog that he has to pee?
I'm just shuffling back and forth.
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over. Are
Wait a minute.
you all right? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Shouldn't we call him to let him know? It's still pretty early, though we'd probably arrive there around noon. Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zack...
He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too. I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him. To make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday.
Done.
If he's also been seeing things, if it's also the same woman I saw last
I'm
night.
not saying there's really a curse yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something.
Oh,
Pleasant.
I wonder if it's one of those things like with Hana where the ghost is like choking us and we can't see it. Remember how Hana was like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
feels like something is around my neck or like I can't breathe or something back during her chapter. And then when we switched to Zack, we were able to see that it was, the ghost was
Yeah,
strangling
but I
her.
don't think it's strangling him right now. Like, wouldn't he?
I guess that Isabella would be freaking out.
Well, and wouldn't he like say like she's the one saying like he looks like he's choking. He's not the one going, I'm gasping for breath.
Yeah, I
It
guess.
seems like when she was doing it, those people were like gasping.
You
Yeah.
didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
You know it's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
We head down to my car in record time with not a single second wasted to hit the road and drive to Zack's place. If any one of us, other than Isabella, who knows anything about what's going on, who can help sort the muddled mess my mind is, it's gotta be him. He listened to her.
Z-Man listens to everyone.
And we'll just have to see what Zack has to say in the next episode.
Z-Man.
Z-Man. See what Z-Man has to
We're
say.
in Ash's chapter.
That's
we call
true.
him Z-Man.
For all of Ash's chapter, we have to call him Z-Man. I think that's the rule. All right. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.